We Jews, we have very bad habit to think that it's all about us.
It is.
We are a bad habit.
Right? And
Yeah. I agree with you.
right? And it's all about us, and it's about the Jews, and we are the chosen people, and and everybody hates us, and it's because we're so holy. Well, you have to be very careful. No, I'm not. I'm saying like what a lot of people think. Most Jews think that they're better than others. I know Jews. Most? Oh yeah. Most from Jews, at least.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. I'm not saying. So the challenge is, you cannot be a role model for the world or do a change in the world if you think you're better than others. What's the primary quality of a leader? Who was the greatest leader of the Jewish people? Moshe Rabbeinu. Why did he become the greatest leader?
Humility.
Another. Right? There was no one as another as Moshe Rabbeinu. So,
I would make the argument David was not the best leader.
what?
I would make the argument David was not the best leader.
He was.
Okay.
It's not.
Moshe Rabbeinu was the best prophet. David
No,
was
it's
the
not
best
true.
leader.
No, so
It's not true.
he was. I'm not sure yet. He was a king. He was the greatest king.
But that's Malchut.
It's a type of leader. That's true.
He's the archetype of that.
Right.
And Mashiach also.
He in terms of Moshe, he was the greatest leader in terms of in Galut, in taking them out. In order to save them, he needed to have that level of humility. So, meaning that we are the Jews, and we're trying to take the world out of Galus, right? Or Galut, depending from which side you are. And so how are you gonna be humble and take someone out of Galut if you don't even pray for them?
Wow.
Do you understand that
We're in Galut, not
we're also in Galut, but you don't need to be in Galut. If Hashem is with you now, are you in Galut or not?
I feel like there's
We're
such
the ones that are
a...
this place, not the Goyim. The Goyim have their situations taken care of.
Not
They're in their
really.
own hands.
No, they don't. They're not. Where are the Spanish people today? All over the world. Where are the English people today? All over the world. Where are the French people today? In America. You know. So you understand that since the beginning, the world has been placed in all mixed up, and that was the
We don't
intent.
have culture in America.
What?
We don't have culture here. Every other
It's
country has
right.
a culture, we don't.
It's a mixture of all the culture, right?
You got it.
Rabbi, I feel like...
And we try to destroy the Native Americans' culture also. Yeah.
I feel like there's such a stigma against Goyim that we don't even think about praying for them, because in the past 100 years we just think about surviving from their
Right. And that's our excuse on some level, and it's okay. It's normal to feel animosity and hatred towards the non-Jews who have tried to kill us and killed 9 million Jews during the
We all
Holocaust.
know Goyim are NPCs.
What?
Goyim are NPCs.
What's that?
Non-playable characters.
NFTs?
Non-playable characters.
Oh, non-playable. No, okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Guys, in Kabbalah,
Very good. That was a good line.
in Kabbalah, the non-Jews are the wife of the Jewish people. Okay? We are the wife of God, and we are the husband of the non-Jews. We receive from God, and we need to transfer to the non-Jews. Okay? But Adam Arishon, the first man, is a combination of Jews and non-Jews. All the souls from Adam Arishon is the 70 nations and the Jews. Okay? We mentioned in the past that there are also beings that are not from Adam Arishon, creatures like animalistic type of people, the reptilians or whatever you want to call them, Homo sapiens. or anyway, there are conspiracies, but shedim, demons or whatever stuff. Don't tell her. NFTs, NPCs, in the meta world, there are all types of stuff. But the idea is we have to understand the goal. Our goal, right? What did it say about Avraham Avinu? Lech lecha, because what he's gonna make of you a great nation. For what? In order to bring blessing to the world. You are going to be the source of blessing to the world. Meaning that you want blessing to come to the world. And they're going to bless you, and they're going to be blessed through you. If they curse you, they're going to be cursed. Because they understand that the flow comes from the Jewish people. We're supposed to transfer. Just like in the Jewish people, they're the Kohanims. Right? And those a Kohen feels like, hey, I'm a Kohen, I'm better than you, little Levi or Israel. No, you don't feel that. There's a unity of everybody respect the Kohen, and most people don't want to say, oh, Kohen, no, it's too intense for me. I cannot handle it. But there's no animosity between Kohen, Levi, and Israel. It's the same thing with the non-Jews. The Jewish people, Imam Neches Kohanim V'God Kadosh. To the non-Jews, we are the Kohanim. And therefore, the same way the Kohanim are blessing the rest of the Jewish people, we, the Jews, are like the Kohanim of the non-Jews, have to bless them.
Is
That's
that
what-
just because the position fell out of favor? Like I mentioned, like Korach back in the day, who was like a little bit jealous. Like nowadays, it doesn't really mean much, but back in the day, it meant so much more.
Well, it depends in which circle. By if you daven by Sfardim, they have Birkat Kohanim every day, right? Every morning, and it's very important. By Ashkenaz, we kind of disconnected from it with the God.
So Rabbi, on a practical level, I only have one non-Jewish friend.
Right.
What am I like? How is this practical to my relationship with my one non-Jewish friend who's actually dating a Jew?
Okay.
But
Okay. So bring him to the mikveh right now.
and he changed his name to Aaron.
Bring him to the mikveh right now. No. So guys, it's very important. Okay, because this is.
I'm sure you guys have more non-Jewish friends because you guys are more like I don't know, like you probably meet a lot of people. Ilya, you probably have a lot of friends that are
There is a
I feel
little.
like it's a practical, question. You definitely don't have any non-Jewish.
Okay. This is a little prayer.
Oh, really now?
And by the way, I encourage everyone to start writing prayers, your own personal prayer, before you do anything. What's the prayer you would say before you go to the bathroom?
What? There's a prayer before?
Before you go to the bathroom? No, you need to do. May it flow without any, constipation. No, and it's, guys, do you know why we go to the bathroom?
To get rid of our
You're full of shit.
Come on.
That's one way to say it. That's a very American way. But Rav Noach Weinberg says, you know why you go to the why you go to the bathroom? Because the bathroom is to teach you teshuvah. Each time you go to the bathroom, you're doing teshuvah. You're letting the bad in you go out. Whatever is unnecessary. And you only keep what's good in you. So why do we have children?
Smarty.
Children? Okay.
I know what that means though.
Stop being self-eating.
So the where was that?
You're doing tshuva. Tshuva.
I'm losing myself in the bathroom. So,
Tshuva. Yeah, we're going.
okay.
We're going to do tshuva.
Right. So each time you go. Guys. I know there's a lot of. It's the full moon. It's very intense. That's what happened. When you were this Okay. Enough. Guys, I know.
Yeah, it is. You can't think.
Guys, was everyone here in resource room also?
Guys, I feel like we're going back to teenage years.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay.
What's wrong with being a teenager?
It's a lot of wrong things. It's fine to go through the process, but understand the process is not. No, you can't. I'm teaching, every afternoon in yeshivas with the teenagers, and I have a feeling I'm
How is it?
teaching just a bunch of black kids from the hood.
That's reason.
No,
I'm teaching you.
no.
And I'm teaching kids this.
No, I love black. I will marry a black woman. Moshe Rabbeinu got married to a black woman. Moshe Rabbeinu's kids were black. I love nothing against the blacks. We love the blacks. They're the black Jews. You know the black Jews?
Why was Bush Rabbeinu still black?
Black. What do you mean? Tzipora was black.
Oh, his wife was black.
Yeah, his wife was black.
Black?
Yeah.
Just dark skin.
No, she was black.
She was
No,
black.
that's a punch.
No, first of all, he married two wives. One woman from Africa, which was for sure 100% black.
But Moshe married two wives?
Yeah. The first one we don't know the name. But and then he got divorced because he didn't want to have children with her, and he got married to Tzipora, which according to some opinion was black also. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tzipora. Kushit.
African body loving this.
Right. Now some said the Midrash says no, she was not really black, but her skin was so beautiful, like the skin of the black people, and therefore it was a praise to her.
Like his skin. Look how gorgeous his skin is, you know?
Like yeah. It's nice. Okay, please, but don't touch.
I get a lot.
No, it's like, you know. Okay. Пожалуйста.
Nobody's safe tonight. Nobody's safe.
No, we're praying for the world. I'm trying to break all the walls. Okay, there are black Jews, there are Chinese Jews, there's Asian Jews, there's Russian Jews, there are racist Jews, unfortunately. But Syrian Jews, French Jews, Persian, Greek Jews. There's Jews from every country, literally. And why do you think it's like that? Why Hashem made it we're dispersed? And you know why? Because unless we learn to appreciate every kind of the 70 nation, every kind of human being, you're not going to be able to become the Jewish people.
So why is there so much animosity from the non-Jews towards the Jews?
Because we're not being a good
You
husband.
mean to say if we become very good, then the non-Jews will like us. If we're not, then they hate us.
Really?
Ve'ahavta le'recha kamocha. If you start respecting, I'm telling you, you know how many non-Jews would love to even speak to us or to rabbi or to from Jews, and they're scared. And they think because we look very often, a lot of people look down on them or speak to them like, you know, sometimes I see janitors in places, it's terrible the way they're treated. We are supposed to treat them like family, technically. Not family like Jews, because there's still a difference, right? Each one has his own mission, but we have to learn to love them and respect them, and they're only going to feel like safe and loved when we show them love. That's the only way, and then they will be able to reciprocate.
Yeah, my non-Jewish friend calls me once a week.
Really?
Once a week.
On Shabbos?
No.
Oh, so no. Yeah. It's always the man. Remember, it's always the man who has to initiate making the other one happy in the marriage. It's the man's responsibility to make the woman happy, because if he makes her happy, she naturally is gonna be happy and want to love him back.
Happy life.
Right? It's.
But I heard it doesn't matter. I heard it's like that by nature, and it's not going to change no matter what we do.
What's not gonna change?
Like, the non-Jewish people hating us. Oh.
No, it's gonna change. It's gonna change. Who says
At
Vaya?
the end of the days.
ונאמר והיה למלך על כל ביום ההוא יהיה השם אחד ושמו אחד. Who is going to say ביום ההוא יהיה השם אחד ושמו אחד?
It's the mindset. It's not like we're going to do actions now. We're going to go start hugging non-Jews and doing kiruv on them.
You can't.
But it's the mindset of like, we have to make the Jewish people, we have to make ourselves perfect.
Not perfect. We have to make ourselves beautiful and praiseworthy in our actions and behavior.
Exactly.
We have to be role models. And unfortunately, especially when we're among non-Jews, we kind of, we cut them off on the street. Oh, it's a non-Jew, who cares? Or we I don't know what people do. What people do?
Yeah, no, they just...
They don't... It doesn't matter. Oh, he lost his wallet. I'll take the money. Who cares? This is a non-Jew. No, it's very bad. It's
And I've
we
met
speak.
my fair share of people who love Jewish people, like non-Jews who just love us. I walked into the super's office.
Yeah,
He had
they're
an
all
Israeli
Caribbean.
flag on the wall. He was from like the Dominican
absolutely.
Republic, and he had an Israeli flag on the wall, and he was just like, "Oh, I know the Jewish people, man." You know, it's just like incredible.
No,
I met
it's
this
true.
bus driver, and it's a lot of Spanish people. Also.
You would be surprised how many non-Jews actually adore the Jews. I have a website, okay, for non-Jews on Facebook that are open like 5 or 6 years ago. There's 12,000 members, okay, and they are all what? No. It was Judaism for non-Jews and Jewish convert. It was meant at the beginning to be a support group, and all those people, those 10,000 non-Jews, want to learn Torah and they want to understand.
Now teach them.
No, you're allowed. That's
You're not.
yes.
It's usually the mitzvah chauvinist.
Of course. If that's true, how come Hashem told Yoshua? If that's true, how come Hashem asked Yoshua to translate the Torah into 17
Not
languages?
teach them learning without Torah. Teach them the actual Torah itself.
That's because
No, the Torah should be outplayed.
that's because it's the Pirush for the Yidden. It's for the Torah when they go into us, they get the Torah. It's Hashama in Torah Shabbat.
Right. Everybody
It's not for the Dayan. It's not for the Dayan.
No, it is for the
It's
ones.
not for the Dayan.
I can show you. It's not for me. It's the Pirush straight. I'll show you. I have all the sources. But it doesn't mean that they have
Targum
to.
Shimon was a big deal. It was a big Targum Shimon Chashka the Torah.
Also, but they were meant to learn what it is that the Jews are doing, what's their commandments, and learn the 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach, and understand, according to some opinion, when we never received the first Torah, right? The first 10 commandments were broken. The first Torah we never received. Origin, the first Torah was supposed to be something that has those 70 facets, and every non-Jewish nation had their own part to. That's why is there a connection between 70 nations and 70 Shivim Panim LaTorah? What's the same number? Whoa, it's coincidence? It's not. Because do you know you can write a Torah in Greek? A Sefer Torah in Greek?
Right, that's
How is that even possible?
Technically,
well, that's the only language you can do it in.
Right.
Not any other language.
Yeah, I know. Because every nation has something holy that is a reflection from the Torah.
I thought not anymore.
What? No. We never got there. It will come at the end. It's a reflection of the Torah. So every nation has a quality, and that's why we bring 70 korbanos for the 70 nation. And it's the same thing as Hanukkah and the rainbow, right? So the light, the pure light, which is white, is one color, so to speak. Although it's not the color. But once you go through the prism, you have 7 colors coming out of it. So the menorah, right? All the branches represent the sciences of the nations, but understand that it all comes from the Torah. But they are supposed to take that beauty and spread it out, so to speak. Otherwise, the world will not be a world of color; it will be just black and white. That's why I put some blue.
Yeah.
Not say black. Yes. What?
Wow.
Yes.
Sorry. So basically, I was in Times Square with Kylie the other day, and we were like talking about religious matters, and there was this African American.
Yeah. Hey, don't be
This
racist.
African American guy sitting in front of us, he like randomly turns around, he starts agreeing with everything you say, and we're like, it was so cool. So
It's so good. And so that's very so. My dear friends,
another phrase.
What?
Tell you guys, there used to be there's a priest that calls my father. He would call my father to ask him what the original testament said, because he doesn't believe what they actually learned.
Right. Especially, you understand the Christians. There are millions, tens of thousands of Christians who start realizing that the New Testament is not authentic, and they now go back to the root, because most people understand now that Jesus, right, was a religious Jew who was putting on tefillin, eating kosher and all that, and he was, and it just his story was falsified and changed, and therefore then they start what? Paul and Matthew, they
St.
wrote.
Peter changed it from Shabbos to Sunday.
Okay, that's for that, right? But Paul and Matthew are the ones who wrote the story of Jesus, which they never met, which is the most crazy part of it. Paul and Matthew never
they
met.
wrote the New Testament.
Yeah.
They wrote the New Testament, and they never met Jesus, and they wrote stories about him. It's right. So a lot of Christians are realizing that today, and they are going now. They're learning the Torah, and it's in order to go to the source.
I was reading in this book about like Syria. There was the chief rabbi, his son-in-law, and he couldn't afford the apartment, so he moved into like an Arab neighborhood, and he got scared. And this Arab chief came to him and said, "How dare you live here? I don't want to live next to a pig," and he slapped him. So he went to his father-in-law, and his father-in-law was like, "Don't worry, just live there. Nothing's gonna happen to you." Like 6 months later, the Arab chief comes to him and starts hugging him and giving him like food. He's like, "What are you doing? I thought you hated me." He's like, "Oh, I thought the Jews were like bad people, but I see that you're a good man and you do everything and you're religious and whatever." So his father, I think, was like, "Of course, if a Jew acts the way he should be, then everyone's gonna love him."
Right, and that's true. That's true.
I just read that like yesterday.
No, it's so guys, I understand that when you Ilya, God behave Ilya. Little kid, yes, Tefillah with huge eyes. Your rabbi sees everything. This is like Hashem. It's like I have a GoPro for my students. Special GoPro for each student.
You're a more now.
Huh? What is he doing? We're using those filters for this. Anyway, I have a GoPro for each one of my students, so you know. Anyway, guys, ideally you should do a prayer, and that's if you want to write a second prayer about before you go to work, especially if you work in a non-Jewish place. Okay, so this is the prayer I wrote before I go to work. It goes like that.
You really say it?
You say before you.
Yeah, before I go to work. Yeah.
What do you mean? Isn't that what Elena Shabbat is?
What?
Elena, you say like.
Aleinu.
You say how like we're Jewish and they're not, and like they bow down to like.
Yeah, well, no.
Isn't that like what it's supposed to be like?
Yes, but what's the last thing we say? V'nemar b'haya Hashem lemelech hakodesh b'yom hahu yeh Hashem echad u'shemo echad. That's the sentence that the nations are going to say at the end. That's the goal. Meaning, yes, there's a difference. Yes, aleinu l'shaber, right? So we are responsible to do that. We're supposed to show them how to serve God and how to be the Bat Melech and Ben Melech. But eventually, is to inspire them to do the same until the point where eventually, and everybody together is going to say Hashem Echad Hashem Echad. That's what we want for the world, not just for the Jews. I'm telling you, when Moshe is going to come and reveal to us who we are, what we are meant to be or do in the Moshiach, and how the world is supposed to look like, we're going to fall. We said, I thought that was Judaism, and Moshe is going to say, no, that was one version of Judaism. This is not the authentic Judaism. Okay, today, because of the amount of information that we have and the knowledge that we have, we are able to expand our mind and see the big picture. And also with the Kabbalah, we're able to understand that it's much bigger than the way we grew up thinking. You know, I remember growing up thinking it's like, oh, I'm a Jew, and I was ashamed to be a Jew, and because if people know I'm a Jew, they're gonna hate me, or they're gonna attack me and torture me. And I mean, my grandmother was in the Holocaust, so you know, it's and then you grow up like that, so you make the non-Jews being the evil or the enemy, and I'm the good guy, and you know, we're super holy and they are the pagans. All that. It's very easy to create a black and white world, right? And having an enemy and being competitive. It's not good. It's not healthy. That's not what Judaism is about. So this is the prayer I make before I go to work. Hashem, please Hashem, help me give you nachas ruach and unify the Shekhinah to you through my work. Hashem, you put me in this position so that I could be a Kiddush Hashem and to reveal your glory in the world. Help me be successful and not be distracted from this mission. Please Hashem, help me to see. I think I wrote it originally when I worked at BNH. Before I was a rabbi, I worked at BNH, you know, selling cameras.
No,
Yeah.
You said this before you sold cameras?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wrote that. Yeah, before I
Or
wrote.
you're the rabbi?
But wait, but that's the Jewish place. That's the Jewish place.
No, yeah, but I was serving. All my clients were not Jewish. They were
Right.
Brazilian, French,
Irish,
Germans.
right, yeah.
All the foreigners. They come. A lot of yeah.
That's why you needed to say it.
Right. Please, Hashem, help me not say any divrei betelim or lashon hara either with colleagues or clients. Help me speak with only positive words, no complaint. Please, Hashem, help me see the beauty of every person to give them kavod.
We have the Sihirat Son. That's very similar to that line. What? After in Amidah. After the
Oh,
Amidah.
it was something right.
Okay,
Yeah,
Sihirat Son? That's
right.
different.
That's
I know it's different,
that's
but
one of the
very
places I
similar.
inspired myself from also.
From certain girls that are about.
Right. I take from what
Oh, you based
a lot of it. Yeah. Protect my eyes. Help me direct every desire towards you. Help me control my midos and not become angry with the clients.
Yeah, that's it.
Help me apply my learning at work and be direct to your second. And please Hashem, help me work with honesty and be careful not to steal time. Okay. But by the way, you know when someone pays you for the hour, right? Every minute that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, meaning you're on your phone or you go smoke a cigarette or you know, unless it's the bathroom, you're actually stealing from the person because he paid for that those 60 minutes. Now, if it's understood that you're allowed to have a 5-minute break to smoke a cigarette or to have a drink or something, that's fine. But understand that Halakha is very strict about that it can be called stealing. That's why.
You have to bench the short version.
Right, short. You're supposed to bench short version, and daven also short version. Havinenu. We know there's the Mishnah where they will say Shema in the trees.
Short version.
Havinenu. You know the Havinenu prayer? Nobody knows the Havinenu prayer? Is the short version of the Shmoneh Esrei?
Nowadays they don't do it.
No, we don't do it. But it is technically.
I saw it in Gemara. I've never seen it in real life.
Oh yeah, I have a Siddur home with it. Yeah. It's a bit. It's on Sephara. It's no. It's I think it's a
So what is it? All the
British.
Amidah in like one paragraph?
It's one sentence for each
No way.
each right.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
Color your fortune.
Having
Do you
the
have
prayer.
to stand up for it also?
Yeah, it's like Shmoneh Esrei. You say the 3 first brachos normal, then the 13 requests in one shot, and then the last 3 prayers.
Nowadays we see the 13
No, that's not the real Havinenu.
Nowadays we go ask. Is it Baruch? We go very fast. Unfortunately, we don't know. We lost the art of davening. But there's a Mishnah in Brachos, I think, if I remember correctly, that says that if you're working, for someone and you're in the tree, and you should say to Shema in the tree and not come down the tree to it because you're going to waste time from your work, if you're picking up fruits. So it's very, very strict. The reason it's important, okay, also because at work, that's when we have the most interaction with non-Jews. What do you think you have to go, if you work with non-Jews, if you go in the world like that, in the world of work? Technically, we should all be Yoshev Ohalim. We stay in the Beis Midrash all day, we're learning and growing, and the wife is, home or learning also Yentl. At lifetime or life plagues or whatever, and taking care of the home, taking care of everything. So the idea is that the reason we, men and women, are so much out in the world today is because we need to spread the awareness of the fact that there's a Jewish people. There are people in the world who have no idea what a Jew is, right? Like the story says, people don't know. I met people, it's like, what's a Jew? Or they ask me, are you Muslim? Are you Christian? Say, no, I'm
The
Jewish.
craziest thing happened to me
They don't ask if you're
last week.
Jewish.
I went to
I was asked that before.
what is it called? Tractor Supply Co. I went to Tractor Supply Co. It's like this. It's like Home Depot for rednecks. And I walk out. I was buying a machine. It's okay. I was buying a machine, and the guy that was bringing the machine to my car was like, "Oh, those are tzitzits." And I'm like, "Oh, how'd you know?" He's like, "Well, actually, my wife and daughter are both Jewish. And I'm like, what? No way. So this guy actually messages me on. I'm like, you guys are gonna come to the next Shabbaton. You guys are coming to the next hotel Shabbaton. You're gonna come with your wife and your daughter. I want to show you guys about Judaism. Anytime you need to learn about what to do for your daughter's his daughter's 4. Anything you need to know about your daughter's bar mitzvah, you can ask me questions. Before I even get a chance to respond to this guy, the guy already messages me. Where is this?
How many texts are you talking?
Yeah, well,
What is Joe like the tractor?
he goes, thank you so much for that kind gesture, and already made a connection with me. Right after that.
Yo, that is so beautiful.
See,
So whenever he comes on our Christmas trip or hotel trip,
A Christmas trip?
yeah, we make Christmas trips.
This is the mayor's
We
sister.
don't have off.
it's called Hanukkah. It's called Hanukkah. Okay.
Guys, you
Oh,
have,
yeah,
a tree,
yeah.
you have a tree lighting ceremony.
You use olive oil or wax?
But he fell
Zen.
before
That was the worst meal to bring him to, because like you have to like wait like
Be-
3 hours until you eat.
So-
he's a Jewish guy.
Right.
Like he shows
Yeah. So it's important to understand, as when you go on a hotel like that, the moment you go out and you put a kippah or a Magen David, or I think you have to know you represent all Jewish people, and
So like
that
Kimmel
the
wears
way,
a hat.
right?
So like Kimmel wears a hat.
Yeah, he represents the bee,
I'm redneck.
the redneck bees, whatever. But the idea is we represent someone, and we have to be aware of that. And it's something that the younger generation, our teenagers, are completely disconnected from that. It's a problem. It's a problem, and they because they listen to a lot of not clean version of rap. The whole new teenage teens, they speak the language of the streets that are not refined at all, and it's a big problem. So we have to make sure for your kids, when you're going to educate your kids, because you understand, you guys are the future, okay? You whatever happens to you and your kids, that's what's going to bring the final step. So unless you teach your kids that we have to be role models for the rest of the world, that the non-Jews are not the enemy, that we need to inspire them, we need to teach them. We are like the teachers, they are the students, okay? And the teacher needs to respect and honor his students, just like the student has to honor his teacher. So it's something, so that's why, I wanted to push you to write a little prayer for the world. When we go around, to raise the awareness. What? Yeah, class presentation.
Show and tell.
Yeah. There's no fail, so don't worry. But it's important to do that and get used to make. Before you go to work, you have to understand that part of going to work is part of your mission. Part to go to work is part of your mission to inspire and affect the world, and especially in the non-Jewish world. It's not just I'm going there to make money. Technically, if you're on the level of Hashem Baruch Hu, you stay home and Hashem sends you the money because you don't need to go out there. But we were spread out. You know what the Gemara says actually, why we were spread out throughout the world? The Gemara says the reason we were spread out around the world is to bring back the lost, the Shabbat Gerim, right? The sparks, the souls, the Jewish soul that got lost and sparks in among nations, and to bring them back. That's why. Now, how are you going to do that? Unless you bring some Jewish awareness, into those empty places where we are in Peru, in Colombia, in France, in Germany, everywhere in the world. How are you going to bring back those souls? Right? They have to learn to see that and connect. Okay, so please let's go around. We're going to turn that off. So.
Where's Victim?